Charlie smiled without saying a word. Wade family? Isn't it his family? It's just that he hasn't figured out whether he wants to go back yet. To be honest, life is actually pretty good now. Not only does he have the Emgrand Group and tens of billions of cash, but also have the infinite possibilities that the 9 profound heavenly scriptures give me. In contrast, if he goes back to Wade's house, he will be subject to many constraints. How can he be so free then? Warnya poured a glass of red wine for Charlie and herself at this time, handed one of them to him, smiled, and said, "Come on, Mr. Wade, I toast you a glass." The lights on the second floor were dim, and the waiter placed 2 candles on the table. Warnya's face looked pink and tender under the candlelight. Charlie took the wine, looked at Warnya, who was rosy and tender, and said with a smile, "Miss Song, whenever you drink, you must have a reason to drink, such as what we want to celebrate, or what we want to remember or forget, to be upset or happy about something. So before we drink each glass of wine, we have to talk about why this glass of wine was drunk. What do you think?" Hearing Charlie's special request, Warnya said with a smile, "Okay, since it's the first drink, let me explain why." With that, she cleared her throat, smiled sweetly, and said, "Of course the first drink is to thank you. You saved my grandfather today and did me a big favor." Charlie nodded and smiled. "Okay, then we will do this glass of wine." After speaking, he picked up the wineglass, touched the wineglass in Warnya's hand, and drank it in one go. Warnya also drank all the wine in the wineglass very boldly, and then asked Charlie with a smile, "Mr. Charlie, why did you drink the second glass?" "Okay." Charlie smiled, and said, "This second cup is just for fate. In this world, people can get to know each other because of the fate gained through thousands of years of cultivation. You and I have a fate. This cup of wine is respect for fate." "Okay," Warnya said with a smile, "respect for fate." Immediately after the third cup, Warnya blushed pretty and said, "This cup of wine, to Mr. Wade's superb ability. I saw Mr. Charlie's ability to treat illnesses and save people today, and I became more and more certain that your act in Orus Hill by lightning. It's not accidental, Mr. Charlie. Would you like to talk about it yourself?" Charlie smiled casually, and said unfathomably, "Was it not accidental? God knows it better. As for you and me mortals, you can only say that the secret is not to be revealed." Warnya nodded and smiled, watching Charlie's beautiful eyes continue to flow, and said seriously, "In order not to reveal the secret, let's have a drink. It is good." After a few glasses of wine, Warnya's eyes turned a bit blurred. Although she has a good amount of alcohol tolerance, she drinks several glasses of red wine in one breath. At this time, it was time for her to say the toast and the reason for drinking. Warnya looked at Charlie with a pair of big eyes and a bit drunk, and suddenly said faintly, "Actually, Mr. Charlie, I recently discovered that you are actually quite good." "Very good?" Charlie chuckled and asked curiously, "What do you mean by this?" "Many aspects." Warnya said earnestly, "You are more interesting than the people I usually contact. Many people I usually contact either always flatter me, hold me, follow me, or always treat me. I have some unclear attempts, and it can be said that few are good things." "What?" Charlie asked curiously, "Do you think I have no intentions against you?" Warnya nodded and said, "I think you seem to feel a little detached from the world." Charlie asked curiously, "Beyond the mundane world?" "What do you say?" Warnya said seriously, "Mr. Charlie looks ugly, but he is actually very capable but not arrogant, usually not showing up. But once someone touches your limit, you will not hesitate. The counterattack, and the decisive killing and not leaving any opportunity for the opponent to backhand, these qualities are by no means carried by the ordinary people." After that, Warnya said again, "More importantly, I don't understand. Why do you want to be a live-in son-in-law in the Wilson family because you have such a great ability? The Wilson family is just a second- and third-rate ordinary family. You are a great god, stay in it?" Charlie didn't answer her question, but asked her, "Then you think if I don't stay in the Wilson family, where should I stay? Or, do you think, where can I stay in it?" Warnya said seriously, "I think you should marry a top-notch big family. For an expert like you, countless big families will sharpen their heads and marry their daughters to you." Charlie said with a smile, What's the point of that? This kind of combination of interests does not have any love factor in itself. A girl from a big family is willing to marry someone she doesn't like? Or just want to be herself? Is your life under the command and control of your family? Warnya naturally said, of course. Any big family has always been particularly strict with the girls in the family. For example, you must go to a very top aristocratic school, not to learn knowledge, but to learn aristocratic social etiquette. For another example, if we are under a certain age or timing, the family strictly forbids us from contacting the opposite S3X, and never allows us to fall in love on our own.